What's happening, my friends? Welcome back. Welcome back. Let's talk about Alexander Volkanovski versus Diego Lopez. This is going to be a quick breakdown. Let's get into it. All right, so Alexander Volkanovski has lost 3 of his last 4 fights, 2 of them to Islam Makhachev, 1 of them to Ilia Topuria, and 2 of those losses have been via brutal knockouts. Now, to Volkanovski's credit, some of those losses, I believe, have been attributed to taking fights on short notice, being depleted physically, and maybe not being fully recovered from knockouts. But regardless of all that, he still has lost and he still has been getting stopped. None of that is good, especially when you have the mileage Volkanovski has and he's creeping on 40 years old. So statistically, and logic would tell you that Volkanovski is on a decline. It's very rare that an athlete has all the fights that Volkanovski has, the mileage, the age, and is on the come up as opposed to going downhill. Volkanovski, in my opinion, is a legend of the sport, future Hall of Famer, no doubt. He is a tenacious competitor, well-rounded, although he's not a big submission guy, but he certainly is dangerous and effective on the ground, especially with his ground and pound. His striking has always been pretty much top-notch, very technical power, one of his best attributes, high fight IQ, and his toughness and will to win. Diego Lopez is kind of like a newcomer. He's on the come up big time. He has the look, has the charisma, has been on a run. He's an exciting fighter, goes for the finish. That's all a formula for superstardom. And he's on his way. Now if he beats Alexander Volkanovski, he's going to be even further on his way because that's a pretty big feather to have in your cap. What Lopez brings to the table, I mean, the kid is a Tasmanian devil in that cage. Absolutely 100% goes for it. Very dangerous striking, super athletic, looks competent on the ground. So let's get into how these guys match up. Well, first I'm going to say 100% I believe Volkanovski is the more skilled fighter, without a doubt has more elite championship experience. The gap is probably going to be the physicality. Prime Volk is another story, but we're talking about Volkanovski, who's been knocked out a few times, coming off of some losses, getting older, albeit to top competition, no doubt. You have to give the physical advantages to Diego Lopez, however, given his age. I just think he's fresher. Skill-wise, overall, I got to go with Volkanovski. I think that's his key to victory, mixing things up in this fight. He should not get into brawling exchanges with Diego Lopez because that's where he shines. And he might have the speed advantage on Volkanovski, which wouldn't be good for him because when you're in those crazy exchanges, Diego Lopez might beat him to the punch, so to speak. So this kid could knock out Alexander Volkanovski. Make no mistake about that. Volk will also knock him out and submit him. Fight IQ, I got to go with Volkanovski. Physicality right now. I mean, Diego Lopez is a specimen. I think the kid is a super athlete. Experience, strategy, fight IQ. Kind of neutralizes athleticism at times. But physicality, physical ability, I got to go with Diego Lopez right now. Ground-wise, I'm going to go with Volkanovski. I think Volk has great control, very dangerous ground and pound. If Volk gets on top of you, it's not a fun time. Chin, I'm going to give the edge to Diego Lopez right now. Cardio and conditioning, Volk always comes in shape. I'm going to say slight edge to Volkanovski. So ultimately, who do I think is going to win? I mean, my heart is with Volkanovski. Certainly hope the legend wins, bounces back. He looks in incredible shape. I like how he put more muscle mass back on. I think that's what he needed. I'm not sure if he kind of like eased up on strength and conditioning, but I think that's when Volk is at his best, when he's strong and when he lifts weights, is conditioned in that manner on top of his cardio. Definitely suits his style. So heart is with Volk. Not going to lie to you. I could kind of smell an upset. I'm not sure if Diego Lopez is the favorite or underdog. I would think that he's the underdog given Volkanovski's elite championship prowess and accomplishments. But I certainly could see Diego Lopez beating Volkanovski in a shocking manner. To me, this fight's almost 50-50 where these guys are at in their respective careers right now. Keywords right now. If we're talking prime Volkanovski, I'm going Volkanovski. I do think that Volk is on a slight decline and that may be enough for Diego Lopez to get this win, which would be a springboard and launch into superstardom for the kid. I mean, he will be the featherweight champion at that point. Keys to victory for me, once again, I think Volk has to mix it up, fight smart, don't get baited into like brawling exchanges because that's where this kid could have his biggest shot to win, just landing something. Diego Lopez, I think, should keep the fight on the feet, stuff takedowns. Certainly don't get on the bottom because Volk will punch your head through the mat. Make it chaotic, make it into a brawl, get Volkanovski to strike less technically, and I think that's his best path to win. So who am I picking to win the fight? It's really tough to say, man. This is one of those tricky fights with a lot of factors. We may see Volk come back to form, look spectacular, demolish Diego Lopez, or we may see a further decline and Diego Lopez take Volkanovski out. Something about this kid, I think that he is very talented. Speaking on Diego Lopez, I don't know. I don't think Volkanovski is quite the same. It really depends how his brain recovered in his chin, how he's rested. Damn, tough one to call, man. I'm going to give Volk the benefit of the doubt. Tough one, tough one. 51-49, I'm going Alexander Volkanovski. I think this one could be a battle. I don't think he's going to demolish Diego Lopez. I can see like a decision win, but don't be surprised if Diego Lopez pulls this one off. He might do it, especially with current 2025 Volk. Final pick going Alexander Volkanovski via decision, mixing it up, fighting smart, not getting sucked into brawls, sticking that jab in Diego Lopez's face, landing those low kicks, and occasionally scoring a takedown, landing some ground and pound. But you guys let me know in the comment section who wins this fight and why. This is a crossroads for Volkanovski. We're going to see him come back to form, or this might be his last fight because if he loses, wouldn't shock me if he retires. If Diego Lopez wins, enter the era of Diego Lopez. Thanks for watching and listening, guys. Appreciate the support. Share, like the video, comment on the fight. Appreciate it. And I'll catch you all on the next segment. Enjoy the fight. After it's done, we'll come back and talk about it like we always do. Later, my friends.